in a bright, sunny garden filled with the tallest flowers and the busiest buzzing bees, lived a tiny ladybug named Linny. Now, Linny wasn't just any ladybug. She loved four things to be absolutely, completely, perfectly just right. Every morning, she would set out on a very important quest to find the perfect spot to rest. She landed on a big green leaf. "Oh, this is much too sunny," she'd say, squinting her little eyes. So she flew off and found another leaf, hidden in the shadows. "Brr, a little too shady here?" she'd shiver. Next, she tried a soft pink rose petal. It was beautiful, but with every gentle breeze, it wiggled and wobbled. "Whoa, a bit too wiggly for me," she cried, holding on tight. She even tried balancing on a long, thin stem, but that was no good either. Almost. She would sigh before taking off once more. Over and over she flew, searching and searching, but no spot was ever quite right. While Linny was busy on her quest, the garden was full of life and fun. A beautiful butterfly with wings like stained glass gently sipped sweet nectar from a flower. A line of busy ants marched by, sharing tiny crumbs they had found. A group of fluffy bumblebees danced happily in the air, buzzing a cheerful tune. Linny watched them all from a distance. She saw them laughing and playing, but she never joined in. She was still too busy looking for her own perfect spot. "Just a little longer," she told herself. "I'll find it soon." Suddenly, the bright blue sky began to change. Big, fluffy white clouds turned into dark gray ones that drifted over the garden. A cool wind rustled the leaves, and then, plink, plunk, plink, raindrops began to fall. The butterfly quickly folded its wings and hid under a large leaf. The ants scurried back to their anthill, carrying their crumbs to safety. But Linny was caught out in the open. She panicked and flew as fast as her little wings could carry her, diving onto the very first leaf she could find. As she huddled on the leaf, catching her breath, she noticed it wasn't perfect at all. One side was a little bent, and it had a tiny tear on the edge. But as the rain came down, the big leaf acted like a little green umbrella, keeping her safe and dry. She listened to the gentle tap, tap, tapping of the raindrops on her leafy roof. It was a soft, calming sound. And for the first time all day, without even trying, Linny felt completely safe. She felt calm. Little smiles spread across her face as she snuggled in. This imperfect spot felt surprisingly good. When the rain began to slow to a soft drizzle, Linny peeked out from under her leaf. The whole garden looked magical. Tiny water droplets sparkled like diamonds on every flower and blade of grass. The air smelled fresh and clean. She realized the bent leaf she was resting on was actually quite comfy. It wasn't perfect, but it was perfect enough. She saw other insects resting on nearby leaves, also waiting for the storm to pass. They weren't on perfect spots either, but they all looked peaceful and content. When the sun finally peeked out from behind the clouds, shining its warm rays on the garden again, Linny didn't fly away to continue her search. She stayed right where she was. A friendly beetle crawled over to her leaf, and they chatted about the rain. She laughed as a little caterpillar inched by, telling a funny story. She simply rested, enjoying the warmth of the sun and the company of her new friends. "You know," she said with a happy sigh, "this spot is actually very nice. ... just as it is." As the afternoon sun cast a warm golden glow over the garden, Linny looked around at all the happy bugs and beautiful flowers. She had learned something very important that day. She didn't need to search for the perfect spot because the joy wasn't in finding the perfect place. It was in stopping to enjoy the wonderful moments right where she was. Linny learned that life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful.